So what I mean to say is, why would you be here in a bar, drinking?
Well, I don't know. I got this huge urge from the Spirit to come here, or maybe I got really thirsty. I can't always tell the difference.
Are you sure you should be here?
Yes,
Well,
he should
well-
be here. Otherwise, I won't get a free drink.
Well, actually, if Jesus could handle hanging out with prostitutes, I can handle this here bar. How about you?
What you drinking, boys?
Oh, Tiny,
Oh,
Tina.
no, not you, Eddie.
Oh, it's good to see. I'd like to introduce you to my friends here. This is Pastor Stevens. We just call him Steve-O.
Steve-O?
And over there is jolly old St. Nicholas, him. And I'm going to have my usual.
You can't even stand that.
And Steve-O's going to have whatever he was having. And, well, how about you, Nicholas?
I guess I'll have whatever Pastor Stevens is having.
All right.
Okay, you got it.
Can you make it quick?
I'll try.
I'm really thirsty.
Yeah. So Nick, you wouldn't happen to be Danny's friend, Nick, would you?
That's right. Yep.
Oh. So I hear you have some questions.
Yeah. I hear you have some answers.
I got some answers. It's 16 days till Christmas.
Uh-huh.
I got some questions. I got some answers. Probably more answers than questions. No, there's more questions than answers. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Okay.
So, Danny keeps trying to convince me that God's real.
Uh-huh.
And I just don't see any real hard evidence.
Uh-huh. Well, listen. Do you know what DNA is?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. Well, you're aware that
DNA. I know what DNA is.
Uh-huh.
DNA. It's drink not alone. I just
No.
made that one up.
not exactly, but actually you're aware that every living thing has a very unique and complex DNA map, right?
I never got a map.
Yeah, I believe that.
Maybe it's on Google Map. I'll check that out.
So Nick, how do you suppose that these DNA maps were created?
Well, look, I didn't say that I was an atheist. I'm more of a agnostic.
Uh-huh.
As a matter of fact, I've read the Bible.
Yeah.
But, all those stories in the Bible, they mean absolutely nothing unless the Bible is true.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
how do we know that the Bible is true?
Uh-huh.
How do we know that Jesus even actually existed outside the Bible?
Uh-huh. Well, let's see. Do you happen to know who Josephus is and Tacitus was?
I know Josephus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Josephus was a great Jewish historian. In fact, I went to school with a relative of his.
Uh-huh.
Josephus Rosenberg. He was
No
he was
kidding.
a tiny little nerdy twerp.
I know who Flavius Josephus is.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But-
yeah.
Who's Tacitus?
Tacitus.
We know Tositas. Those are chips you buy at the store. Tositas. You can get them
Yeah.
barbecue, blue cheese.
Well, actually, Tacitus that I'm talking about, Tacitus was actually a famous Roman historian.
Rome.
You see, he was revered by his peers. He was known to be credible and accurate and believable. What's really interesting is that he wrote about the crucifixion. He even called Jesus by name. But don't get me wrong, Tacitus was also a Roman senator, and he was no friend to the Christians, I'll tell you.
Really? Okay, so then there's proof that Jesus actually existed. But how do we actually know that Jesus is the Son of God or even is God?
Oh, now that is a great question. You see, it's knowing that Jesus is the Christ. That gives us confidence, not only that our own sins are forgiven, but it gives us assurance of our own Christians' future resurrection themselves. And we know that Jesus is the Son of God through people that had a personal relationship with him, like Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah. You see, Isaiah spoke about things that were to come so that when they actually happened, we would know that that was actually the word from God, you see. Isaiah chapter 53 describes the Messiah hundreds of years before Jesus was actually born, and only Jesus meets Isaiah's description.
Tina,
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's right.
where are the
You know,
drinks?
but the best evidence that Jesus was the Son of God is the fate of the 12 disciples and many others. Yeah, for example, the half-brother of Jesus, James, he died a martyr's death because of his belief that Jesus was the Messiah. And you take Paul, for example. Now, the guy that wrote a whole bunch of books like Romans and Ephesians and Galatians, that guy. Well, he was killing Christians, he was persecuting Christians and stuff until the Spirit of Jesus knocked him off his Harley.
It's Harley.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, well, you see, actually it was a horse or a donkey or something,
joke.
but when Jesus knocked him off of his horse, they had a talk.
Oh, why do you persecute me?
Oh, you know that one, huh?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, what happened to Paul after that? He was willing to be boiled in oil and to give his life for his belief in Jesus.
Oh, man.
You're right.
Now, I heard the argument a few times that the Bible's just like a storybook that some people wrote to control other people and to get power and wealth and stuff.
People actually say stuff like that, huh?
Yeah, they say stuff, but none of the disciples of Jesus, they ever recanted their testimony about Jesus and his life, what he did, the miracles he did. Even when they were tortured and martyred, they never once gave up. Now, you tell me, does that sound like some guys that are trying to get wealth and power?
No, I guess not. It sounds pretty stupid if you think about it. That they would
Yeah,
do that
well-
just if it was just a made-up story.
Yeah. So, Nick, all of this evidence leads me to believe that Jesus is God. And through Jesus Christ, God made a way for all of us to have a personal relationship with him. Not just old people like Isaiah and stuff, but all of us. So I believe that Jesus is God and that he came to love with a message to love.
Guess I haven't been very loving lately to God or my friends.
Nick, it's not too late, Love conquers all. If we love the way Jesus said to love, our souls will live, and all things work together for those who love God. So have faith, Nick, and everything's going to work out for you too, man.
So I suppose you would like to convert me or something, right?
Did you say convict?
Convert?
I've never met a convict.
No?
I'd like to meet one sometime. Are they different than we are?
No, I'm not trying to convert you, man.
Convert.
Wow. You're sure different than any other pastor I've ever met.
Boy, that's right.
Well, look, Nick. When you go home tonight and you think about all the stuff we talked about here, if you decide that this stuff was true and you want to accept that Christ is your Savior, man, just tell him.
Just like that. No one has to be a witness or anything?
Nope. Jesus is the only witness you'll ever need, man. After that, just talk to him. Pray about everything. Thank him for all the good things that happen. Talk to him about all the stuff that you're dealing with that's hard and you wonder what's going to happen. Maybe tell him you're sorry for all the stuff you blamed him for that happened in your life in the past. But man, I tell you, you accept him in your life and things are going to change, man. You will find a peace and a confidence in